Hey, what's up guys, Ventriloquist here, and today I'm bringing you a video about my prediction for Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz, UFC 202. Now, in my last video it got quite a bit, of views, nothing special, about 500 now, something like that, and, it got some hate on it because, people, think I'm supposed to be like some special commentator or something like that. I was just throwing my opinion, like I put in the description. This is my opinion. It's not even a fact. You don't have to get offended by my opinion. That's why I put my opinion in all caps. You don't have to agree. There's people that are just like disliking and stuff like that because they thought my opinion overruled theirs or something like that. But this is my opinion. So basically, we're gonna get in the video. Conor McGregor. If you haven't been keeping up with his, Instagram posts, his videos, and his Mac life and his training and stuff like that, he's, like Dylan Dennis said, Dylan Dennis is a very, very good BJJ practitioner, competitor. He's very, very good. And he said himself, he said Conor's already, he said before he came in, he said Conor was already, very good right away. He could tell it, jiu-jitsu. But he said that, he has to work on a few things. Like Conor said, he has to work on a few things jiu-jitsu because he hasn't had somebody that's aggressive like Dylan Dennis. And Dylan Dennis said that, he's keeping up with him, he's, there's nothing going wrong. He's basically he said, I don't know word for word. I watched so many videos, I can't, tell you quotes word for word, but he basically has said that Conor's, been very, very successful against him. He stuffs all of his takedowns. He's getting very good submissions. He's getting out of submissions, locks, stuff like that. And Conor McGregor with his boxing, he's facing, bigger dudes than Nate Diaz, and he's facing Olympic boxer, 6-time national Irish champion, something like that. And people just think that they just scrub that off like, oh, he's some just local boxer. That dude's he's very special if he's won I guess his national championship 6 times. I mean, that's something that's very impressive that many people can't say. So I mean, if McGregor, he's doing that, and he's McGregor's, sparring against a K1 Muay Thai champion. If you watch his videos, I mean, he's very, successful against them, and he's continuously nonstop doing 5-minute, 5 rounds for 5 minutes, so 25 minutes, and he's keeping up with it, and he's looking fresh. He's not, like in the first fight with, Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor, you see, I remember reading something after the fight was over, and I was devastated. I was like, wow, man, because you just didn't expect something like that. You almost wanted that success story to be just dominant, go up 15 pounds from his other, from his actual weight, 155. But also, he went up 2 weight classes from where he's competed at. And people just say, oh, well, that doesn't matter. It does matter because, think about it. He's like how it played out in the fight. He's been facing 145-pounders. So he's used to the way they are, the way they, take shots, the way they move, the way, just all kinds of stuff that he's adapted to. But he skipped 155 and he went to 170, which is... and people, oh man, this interview just came out. His coaches and Conor McGregor himself said that he's not a natural 170. He walks around 155, 160-ish. So Conor, this whole time, I've been telling people, they've been wrong. He's not actually a natural 170, walking around. He, in recent interviews, he's saying that his natural weight is 155 and that he was on weight or something like that. He kept talking. He talked about it for a minute or two. I'll try to find it and put it in the description below. But Conor McGregor, man, you gotta think though. In that first fight between Nate Diaz and him, he in the second round, like right when the first round was over, you saw him just shrug his shoulders in a big deep breath, and he kept trying to tell himself all day. Well, his coach after that fight said that was the first time he's seen McGregor look really tired after a round. That's what he said, or in a fight or something like that. He said, and it really did show. I mean, people try to downplay McGregor and say, oh, he had a full camp. He only had a 2-month camp, realistically. He fought in December 14th against Aldo. He had a few weeks to go by of negotiations, and then January, February, and they fought March 5th. So March didn't even count really, because a week before. Basically, that's 5 days into March. So he wasn't even training in March. So it's basically a 2-month camp. And he trained at 155. I mean that's basically it. I mean, he's training at 155, and he's putting his body at that limit. And then 10 days before the fight, I think he said that he was weighing around 160-ish. 160, something, 160-ish, somewhere like that he was weighing, Conor was, and then 10 days, he didn't cut weight, so he just, kept eating, and he put his body in shock mode. He, other friends of his that, he, was around at the time, and his coach, and himself, said he's just eating cheesecake, he was eating 2 breakfasts, steak, he was just eating. And, he's putting body into shock. I don't care if you have a nutritionist or not. You're going to put your body into shock. That's 10 days. And, he weighed 168. So, I mean, he's putting his body through shock. I mean, but Conor McGregor, I think, with all that, sorry about that. With all that being said, I think Conor, the way he's been looking, he's been keeping up at once. He said an interview a few days ago, he said he's on weight. So say he's 168. I think that's he's on weight at probably. Say he's at 168. I mean, if he's going 5 minutes, 5 rounds, I mean that's that's more than enough to say that he's put in enough. And I think he's going to win this fight. I really do. Looking at his boxing, looking how more precise he is with his weight now, he's not looking like sloppy, kicks, sloppy punches. He's not hitting glove like he said in his first fight. He's hitting it's precise. And he said he's going to be a bit more patient. I mean, a few days ago he was saying that he's going to do the same thing, but yesterday he just said he's going to be more patient in the fight, but still aggressive. So that's good to hear because he's going to conserve more energy. But with Nate Diaz now, see, y'all think, I got comments in my last video too saying, oh, this dude's just riding Conor's nuts. What? You didn't even watch the whole video. Most of them that dislike didn't even watch the video at all. They just immediately start hating. I had to delete so many comments because they were just being really, really immature. But, Nate Diaz now. So, see, this is a common misconception about Nate Diaz. I like both of the fighters, but Conor is my favorite fighter by far since he started in UFC. I liked it. His style immediately grabbed me. Immediately. Because I hadn't seen a style that, he was so precise, angles, whatever, so on and so forth. But Nate Diaz now, I like Nate Diaz because he just wants to fight. He doesn't, you can tell he's not fake. He just wants to, So, Nate Diaz, oh, he had 10 days, he just got back, Well, I mean, like Nate Diaz said himself, he's been doing this for 10 years, 10 plus years. I don't think with his high level of jiu-jitsu, I don't think he's going to forget much, I mean, come on. He's not going to forget his jiu-jitsu. He's not going to, I mean, he wasn't fat. He just had a little bit of skinny fat on him. He just wasn't toned really. I mean, he's still, now he just looks toned and almost looks the same. But now he just looks more toned. He wasn't fat, all, people try to, say. But Nate Diaz, man, he was already walking around at 170. He didn't have to go through a camp. He didn't have to cut weight. He didn't. He didn't. He was already walking around comfortably. That's like, that's like a dream. That's like a dream come true. You're already walking around at your comfortable weight. You don't feel stressed. You don't feel fatigued. And people say he didn't spar one time or hit gloves. He was hitting, before the fight happened, it showed multiple times he was hitting, pads, or he was hitting the pads, and he was just doing other stuff, like, stretches, stuff like that, constantly. I mean, you have to. But you know what I mean? Not just stretches, but, like, he was hitting the pads. So he wasn't, like, just straight off the couch, oh, let's fight. He's been doing this for 10-plus years. He's not going to forget much. I can assure you that. But, see, the thing is with this fight, what happened in the last fight is McGregor, granted, Nate Diaz took many punches. Conor, the way he is, he's so precise with his punching. And the only reason I think he lost that first fight is because his conditioning. Because, he wasn't trained. No, he just moved up 8 or 9 pounds. Because he was weighing out 159, 160. Because people are saying that, no, he was weighing 170. Like, I literally see comments of people saying that he weighed at 170 10 days before the fight. You're not cutting 15. Why would he cut 15 pounds? Because think about it, he's originally supposed to fight at 155. So why would 10 days before the fight he would weigh 170? He would not cut 15 pounds. Like, Nate Diaz's coach just said that he was, Nate's only like 5 pounds over. And this is a few days before the fight. So, obviously, that whole 170 theory about McGregor, he's already on weight. Yeah, no. Stop. No. That is, I don't get it. Just look at what they say. Just look at what the coaches say. Just look what the fighter, nutritionists, most importantly, say. It's just, that's why I don't get most of the stuff that people are saying. It's like, at the end of the day, they're both going to fight again. And granted, like I was saying earlier, McGregor had that fight won. He put on too much weight too fast. And then, he could have avoided that fight, but he took it. And, they smashed the records of UFC. So, you think about it at the end of the day, McGregor has the better precise, he has the better precise, timing. His timing is way better than Nate's. Judging by Nate's other fights, you can clearly tell. Nate's a very sloppy kind of sloppy but precise boxer, and I've watched a lot of his fights. Looking at it, he throws jabs weird. It's like what Joe Rogan said. He throws like a snake. Like his punch is like a snake. They just they're random and they're like wobbly, but like they're powerful. He's obviously he's not weak, so you take on all those factors. And I think McGregor has to adapt to the conditioning, which he has. He's and he has an Irish cyclist world champion or something like that from Ireland. So he's doing constant bike rides with him, and he has champion tips coming from a champion cyclist. He has Olympic boxers, K1 Muay Thai champion. He has BJJ champion. Not from Ireland. He has one from America, Dylan Dennis. So you gotta think this is pretty good for McGregor. But like Nate Diaz, I think the fight's gonna go like this. And I really, as much as I hate to say it, the only way McGregor would lose is if Nate came out and just aggressive, because that press conference that just happened, they're both, who knows how that will affect both of them. I personally think it won't, because McGregor was already, in an interview after, just all calm, and, same with Nate. They're both, I think it was just whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it has to be aggressive for Nate and patient for McGregor, because McGregor has the better timing. He picks his shots way better than almost any fighter I've ever seen. The only one I think that comes close to McGregor is GSP. GSP's jab is really underrated. It's not talked about. He had one of the best jabs in UFC, and because his timing is just so good. But like I said, it comes down to if Nate Diaz can be aggressive, and McGregor he's patient, and he does his timing right and everything like that. So it's a hard one to call because they're both ready now, so we'll have to see. The first fight I think was clearly a fluke. Both of them, like Nate Diaz already said, both of them, after this fight, there is no excuses anymore. This time there's no excuses. So for both of them. So we'll see what happens. And I think if McGregor wins this, that first fight was definitely a fluke. Depending on how it goes. So McGregor thinks he's going to win by knockout in the second, and his coach, John Kavanagh, thinks he's going to win in the fourth by TKO or doctor stoppage, something like that. I don't know. It's pretty crazy, but we'll see. So Nate Diaz says he doesn't really care about predicting. He says win or lose, he's going out there. So this will be a good fight, and I hope you all like the video, and I'll be coming out with more. And that's about it. So appreciate, leave a like and share. And that's about it. So have a good day, and I'll be back Saturday with a video after that fight, and I'll give you my thoughts. Hopefully it's a very good fight, not boring or anything like that, which I doubt. So peace out and have a good day.